Hello and welcome to I Actually Don't Want to Do This, I'd Rather Ride. And today we are going to be installing these turn signals. Yeah, aftermarket turn signals, second round on this KTM 690 SMC R. So let's get into it. Now I've had this question come up many a time when you guys have asked about like how I wired the turn signals for the handguard turn signal ones from the Zeta kit that I got off of Amazon, and it's going to be essentially the same process. I won't be able to show you the original or the OEM kind of positioning of the turn signals and removing those because, well, I already did, and that was back before he was even really filming on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is try to at least show you guys exactly the wires that I used for a positive and a negative, and then hopefully you can make those inferences on your KTM or any other motorcycle and go from there. I'm also going to show you a few kind of tips and products that I use to help this process, so this should be fairly easy. Remember, the whole point of me doing this is I bought a Brembo master cylinder, and now my bark busters and those guards and the turn signals now and mirrors essentially they don't work, they don't fit now with that master cylinder, so now I've had to rethink everything on these bars. But to change it up a little bit, I actually got this style of turn signal. Now, I don't know how bright these actually are, but what they are is from New Rage Cycles. And they're essentially just turn signals for your forks. And again, kind of cool. I like the concept. I thought they were going to be more rubbery, but they're actually pretty hard. So kind of interesting. To fit this KTM 690 SMC R, I would always suggest to measure your front forks, but I went with the 58 millimeter size. That 58 millimeter size was just enough, and it should work just fine. But it's kind of cool because they just come with positive and negative connections, and it should be pretty quick. But I hate wiring and I suck at wiring. So let's see how well this goes. I was going to do like a quick release for these, so I could just pop them off when I go to the track. But yeah, I haven't had the time to figure that out yet. Maybe in the future, but hell, I'll just tape them. I don't care, whatever. All right, let's get into it. So after tearing the entire assembly apart, what I was left with was, well, these. You remember them? Yay! And yeah, a super long cord. I didn't realize how long this actually was. But what I ended up doing is I cut off the turn signals, like right here at the front area, and then ended up wiring these up to it. I did a very poor job in the fact that these wires are very short. So what I'm probably going to do is just cut this end off somewhere in here, just so I've got plenty of room, loop it back in, and then try to figure out how to get one of these in there. But yeah, but then once these are wired, all I need to do is just come on. Gimme. Oh, of course, now you don't fit. Bah! Bam! Right there. And I guess the question is, do I go up here? Do I go down here? I'll probably go above, so it's resting on there. Yeah, and I think that would look really good. And it'll just run right behind here, up into the area, and we should be set. So we can kind of see in here where I was able to actually, oh, there we go, get rid of that, where I was actually able to cut into the factory turn signals, and it looks like I'll have plenty of room there. But let me see. All right, for those of you who have sprung the question of kind of like what color wire goes where, for some reason, I don't know how and or why this ended up happening or how it worked out like that, but it seems that I have gone black to brown, black to red. What? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna wire it up exactly how I have it here, test it, and see where it goes. But that doesn't, it should, what I would think, black to black, and then red to brown, but then again, I don't. This is why I hate wiring. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one, I'm gonna throw this cable around here to the outside, and then I'm gonna try to get it back in here as low as possible so that I don't actually have to zip tie it to the forks. So with that snapped into place, there we go. Awesome. Okay, so at least this side I was able to loop through this little corner down here, which I think that will work out nicely. And now that I think of it, for track days I could always just take these off and then loop them in and figure it out from there. But anyway, okay, now to the conundrum that I am living in here. So I'm going to go red to black, and I'm going to go black to brown. Oh, I hate me some wiring. Boo, 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 boo. Wiring sucks. So now some people, what they like to do is they like to wrap things. They like to do this, that, or the other. I'm too lazy for all that. I actually use these. So these are awesome because they're basically, I don't even know, cheater tubes. They're awesome little tubes. Let me grab a bigger one here. That what you can do is in the middle there, that's your actual solder. So you make sure you get that in the center of the wire connections. The yellow bands on the outside indicate like the size of the actual tube itself. And what it does is once you heat this up with a heat gun, it actually seals the wire itself. So there's really no like extra wiring that you have to do. You just kind of sort of have to get the gauge and the wire the right size. So what I'm going to do for these in this application is I've got the choice between a red one or a white one. The white one's tiny and I feel like won't work as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, at least for this first round, some of the red ones. The red one is a so it's a 0.5 to 1.0 millimeter squared. What that means, I don't know. Now that you got your little tubey on there, you got your heat gun handy, what you do, slide it onto the other wire, connect the two wires in the middle. Now letting that cool, you repeat the process. All right, so now that you can see that these suckers are like absolutely melted on there, yeah, so let's test it and let's see. Here, hold on. So here's the turn signal. I'm gonna turn the bike on, and now with only the left one connected, I'm gonna try it. What? It works. It works. This is so backwards to me. So backwards to me. Okay, hold on. One more time, right? Key off. Okay, wait, everything off, right? Okay, key back on. All right, so only the left turn signal is hooked up. So I'm gonna go left turn signal. Yeah, it works. Okay, so I guess then, yeah, if you're looking at this here, come in closer. Come here. All right, black on the aftermarket side to the brown on the KTM side. Then red on the aftermarket side to the black on the KTM side. And that looks just fine to me. Yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the other side. And it's gonna be the exact same process. So hold on. All right, so this side has been completed. This side has been completed. Both of these are mounted here. Before I button everything up and put the front end back on, we gotta do some testing. Okay, so we know the left one works. Does the right one work? Oh my God, like how? Like it just blows, what? Back works, okay. I mean, yeah, it's definitely bright. It's brighter. It's brighter than these suckers that were in there, that's for sure. But let's get this button back up and let's kind of finally look at it. All right, so now that this is all completely and totally back together, let's do a final check to make sure everything works. Key on, the LED thing, good. Headlight, good, and woo, okay. All right, there's one. Let's see, lighten up on the dash. Number 2, okay. Huh. I don't know. I mean, they're definitely brighter, but I think they're in the wrong spot. Just kind of a thought, but huh. So in a nutshell, that is how you install aftermarket turn signals on your KTM 690 SMC R. Yeah, I specifically installed these. They're the new range cycles and they're the fork clamp turn signals and they're 58 millimeters. But these are the old Zeta handguard integrated turn signal ones. I mean, it's the same process. I'm assuming it's going to be the same process for a majority of aftermarket turn signals on the 690. But that whole wire coloring blew my mind. It wasn't very self-explanatory. You would think like black to black, red to red, but black to red, brown to black. I don't know even how I came up with it in the first place. I think I just gambled with it and got lucky, but as proven, like, it works. Again, I am no expert, I am no professional mechanic, so don't listen to me when it comes to actually installing these things. Look at these videos as basically seeing another option, opinion, type of ways to do this and install things on your bike, but I can't help you if you don't do it right, or if it's not right, or hell, I'm also not right a lot of the times. So either way, but I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope this answered some of your questions on how to install these turn signals. The rears I've never had to wire, so if I have to one day, then we'll get a video on that. But I guess then that's really it for this project right now. So I guess next steps are, well, getting these suckers to a kart track and yeah, trying them out and going Brembo master cylinder to Brembo master cylinder and seeing which one's better, because this is a 19, just insane to me, and this is now the 15 that I just put on the bike. Yeah, as far as the level of how difficult it is to do this job, I would give it a 6 probably. You definitely need to take your time, you need to know what you're doing, and there's a lot of finesse, especially when it comes to bleeding. So that, if you haven't done it before, consult an expert. If you've done it maybe once or twice, like me, like, you should be good. If you do this all the time, then you're fine. Don't even watch these videos. But I guess stay tuned for the next series and I guess next parts or next track days or whatever else I come up with or whatever else breaks in my life. And until then, remember, keep riding.